Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today we are talking about Gotham. Now, this was more or less spawned from me seeing the Batman recently. I had seen some of Gotham before. I'll get into that in a second. But it's kind of evolved into a long DCTV escapade. So I watched all of Gotham, followed that up with the entire series of Krypton, which I had not seen before. Currently, I'm working my way through Doom Patrol, which I had not seen before. Next up, after that, I think I'm going to check out Stargirl, which I've never watched. And then once that's done, I'm going to try to catch up on the newest season of all of the Arrowverse TV shows. We'll see how long this ride lasts, but let's get back to Gotham. So when Gotham first started, I watched it live when it was on, and I did not like it. And I tried sticking with it because I hoped that it would get better. But really, the only characters I enjoyed were Selena Kyle and Edward Nygma. And so anytime there was an episode that didn't feature one of those, it was like, didn't have Catwoman or Riddler. Like, those were the reasons I watched the show. And looking back at it now, I think the biggest issue, at least for me, that I had with the show was that I didn't understand what it was. Is it a Batman prequel? Is it the story of how Gordon became commissioner? Is it an origin for all of the villains? And watching through the first time, it seemed like it kept jumping back and forth between these. And that it couldn't focus on one idea, and so it was hard for me to care about it. So I watched it, but I did not enjoy it, and I did not like it. So eventually I stopped. And so for a while now, I had owned the first 3 seasons. I couldn't remember when I had stopped. But after seeing the Batman, and I watched it, and if you see my video on it, I said I didn't really particularly enjoy it. I think it was well done. I can understand why some other people would enjoy it. I just don't think it was for me. And so I think that kind of is what messed with my brain. And I was like, let's give Gotham another chance, right? Let's try looking at it with kind of a different perspective. So I bought the final 2 seasons, and I started rewatching the show. And I don't know what exactly changed in my head. And it sounds so simple. And maybe it is simple. Maybe I just overcomplicated it. But the show is about Gotham. And the main character is Gordon. So, watching through it again, I really latched on to Gordon as the main character. And the show, it wasn't about him becoming commissioner. I thought that was it for a while. But he does some bad stuff too. So I'm like, it's just about Gotham and the stuff Gordon has to deal with. That's kind of where I ended up. It's what Gordon had to deal with before Batman came along. And for whatever reason, that different perspective on me watching it, I still, I wouldn't say I loved it. I don't even know if I'd say I liked it, but I got more out of it than the first time. I enjoyed it more than the first time. And I finished the show in 2 weeks. I think even less than that, a week and a half. Which made me happy because I have met Sean Pertwee, who plays Alfred, and Ben McKenzie, who plays Gordon. He's so short. Look at how short he is. By the way, that's my brother there with me at Comic-Con. I've met those guys. I was excited about the show when it was first coming on, but it's always felt like this missed experience that I just couldn't get into. So I was very glad that I was able to get more out of it the second time around. And I think that's, a thing with a lot of people like me who are negative online about things. It's I want to like things. I don't want to hate things and feel bad and think that things are stupid. I want to like them. But when I don't, I'm not going to lie about it. So I was very glad that I had a better experience with this thing that I previously only had dislike for. So I didn't take notes on it. I'm not going to go into huge long details about it. I will say spoilers for the show. When they put Lee with Riddler, oh my gosh, I can't forgive that. There's no way that makes any sense. And the time jump at the end, I felt was, what's the point of that? We know where the story is going. And if you look at these covers here, I don't know how well you can see them, but like they're really playing up this Bruce Wayne is becoming Batman angle, and I think that hurts the show because it's not a Batman show and it's not really a Batman prequel. And so I don't remember what kind of marketing it had back in the day, but I feel like that's probably what led to me not liking the show as much, is because I feel like it was probably marketed in these different ways that it didn't really nail any of them. But I do think the biggest problem that the show has is that it can't decide if it wants to lead into standard Batman lore or if it wants to be its own thing. Because if you're going to lead into standard Batman lore, you're making some changes to some characters that are inconsistent. I don't have a problem with that, but it's not consistent with standard Batman lore. If you're going to be your own thing, then make bigger changes, right? Oh, Firefly's a girl now. Okay. Kill Alfred. Like, do something big to be like, no, we are our own version. And it always felt like it couldn't decide which one it wanted to be. And I feel like that was the biggest thing holding it back, was that in some cases it really wanted to set up proper Batman lore, and then in other cases it felt like we're doing our own thing, but not for any particularly good reason. But that wasn't enough for me to have an overall negative view of the show on the second time around. Like I said, I still wouldn't say that I liked it, but I got more out of it. I took it more for what it was and not what I was expecting it to be. So I think I'm going to stop this there. But yeah, if you, like me, started on Gotham and couldn't get into it, maybe try going back and just kind of taking a step back and don't think of it as a Batman prequel or a villain origin. Just take it for what it is. It's one of those things that if you took the comic book names away from it, it would probably be better on its own. But those are my thoughts on Gotham. Let me know any thoughts that you have, but that's all that I've got. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.